Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Stuart Woodrow, and I am your solo companion for this CADS After Match Chat. Unfortunately, it's not been a great day so far, has it? Spurs, as I'm sure you're aware, if you've just watched the match like I did, scored first and looked okay for a little bit, but unfortunately, we let things slip at the end. Um, as I said, I'm all alone on this one. It's just going to be me having a quick chat to you. I didn't want to let you guys down. And we're going to go through a few things that I think need to be talked about very, very quickly. But it's just a quick one tonight. So, first thing, this was kind of a slip back to the Spurs of old that we've seen, where performances have not been up to par. I think our midfield today was okay. Wasn't great. We didn't dominate the game the way we should have. Our defense, the area that we thought would be our real weakness, actually pretty good. Yes, we let in two goals, but that was more through slips in midfield. That was more through not dominating. That was more through not getting hold of the ball and doing something with it. And I think that's our biggest drawback today. Our biggest drawback is that we didn't have enough people on the pitch that were going to take hold of this game and see it out. And realistically, we needed to score a second goal. If we'd scored a second goal, this game would have been over, but we just didn't. And that's where we've fallen apart. Uh, so if we go through some of the players, Vicario, really, I don't think any chance with either of the goals. I think he did very well. Porro, good. Really, that's about all I can say is good. Um, Dyer and Davis. I thought Dyer was a little bit shaky at times, and I think Davis pulled him out of the fat out of the fire, shall we say. So that one is not a great area for us. I think it's definitely something we've got to look at over the January period, and I'm sure the club will be doing that. Let's go to left back. Romero, no, sorry, Royal. Romero, he's not even plays. Yes, unfortunately, Romero was suspended. Royal, yeah, Emerson Royale. He did okay there. I think there were times where he let his opposition player get a bit too much space. Certainly earlier on in the game, he grew into it. He's definitely better when he's more in field. So when he moves into that inverted position and he gets a chance to do something, then he looks better. But unfortunately, wasn't enough on this instance. Going into midfield, Bissouma. I thought Bissouma had a bit of a muted game. Didn't think it was his best game, to be honest. Um, and there were a couple of occasions after he got booked where he looked to have a little bit more about him. It was almost like that booking freed him up to go and play his game a little bit more naturally, whereas before he was like, I can't get booked. I can't get booked. Yeah, you did. Um, yeah. Then on to Højbjerg. Højbjerg, that was a strange one for me. He's played further forward for Denmark than he does for Spurs, and he's actually looked pretty good there. He's picked up assists and been an influential player for them. But for us, he's never really shown that. He's shown glimpses where he can do it. We saw glimpses of it against Chelsea. And I think it's just disappointing that he was holding back a lot. There were times we're almost playing with two sixes, and that's not the way that we want to be playing this game. We want to be pushing up. We want to be forcing this game on the opposition. We didn't really do that very often. Saar, I thought, was a bit of a bright spark. He seemed to be almost up front at times. He was the guy who seemed to be playing that Madison role, and I think we needed more of that. So more of that, just to be clear, not more than that, more of that. So yeah, I thought he did okay. I thought he was somewhat unfortunate to come off. He wouldn't have been my first choice to come off. Um, and then we move on to the front three. So we've got Decky kind of performance. Again, didn't really look like scoring a goal very often. Then we've got Brennan Johnson, who I thought did pretty well, certainly at the start. He, definitely looked dangerous, attacked, got that goal, and we were thinking, right, we're going to push here. We're going to make some goals. We're going to show everybody that because we've lost a couple of players, 3, 4 players, that we're not going to be rolling over and making this easy for anyone. And I thought there was more that could happen. I'm a little bit concerned because he did seem to be feeling the back of his leg when he went down later on in the game. I hope he's not injured, because we are really, really short down that left-hand side, the devil's flank, as I call it. Um, yeah, lots and lots of players injured. Solomon, Perisic. Yeah, pretty much every. Even if you go down to our under 21s, Santiago's picked up an injury now, so he won't be coming in. Okay, so that just leaves us Heung-min Son, who I thought was really quiet today, and I think we needed more of a performance from him. Unfortunately, we just didn't get it, and I think we needed it. So that was difficult. I was surprised he didn't come off. I was surprised we didn't bring on a more physical performer, a more physical player in terms of someone like Veliz who would come on. It was good to see Bentancur come on because I thought he always looks very, very good. I'm always happy to see Bentancur come on because I'm a big, big fan. Those white football boots almost look like slippers, and he kind of suits him. I have to say, he's the kind of player who looks like he could play in a pair of slippers because he's just that good. Gil, there were some bright moments for Gil. I thought he could have done better at holding the width. He came inside a lot and kind of got lost in the middle a little bit at times, but there were some bright things there, which maybe Mr. Postecoglou will be looking at and going, yeah, there's something we can do here. So maybe we'll see more of that in the future. Lo Celso, again, he came on. There were some elements that were good. He, it's a little bit, some little nastiness. Let's not be honest. There was a couple of tackles and a few things that you're like, ooh, okay. But nothing horrible, nothing that could have got him sent off. But again, he didn't come on and start really dictating the tempo of the game, which is what I want to see from him. It's what we saw from him in pre-season. He was the metronome for the side. Everything went through him. And since the season has started, okay, he's not been a regular starter or a starter at all, apart from the Fulham game. But when he comes on, he's got to pick up that pace of the game. He's got to go for it, and he's got to show what he can do. Otherwise, he's never going to be a starter for us, and he will end up leaving the club, and we'll all be thinking, yeah, okay, he was a good player, but he never really showed what he can do. And I think that's potentially where we're going to end things with him, unfortunately. So, yeah, in terms of other players that could have come on, I would have liked to have seen a bit more pace in the side, certainly in defence. I thought it was a shame not to see anything from Phillips. Donnelly is a player who we've seen a fair bit of in the under-21s and looks really, really exciting, but maybe Ange just thinks this is too early for him, so I'm going to trust him on that one. But did we deserve to win this game? No, we didn't. If we were going to score a second goal, we needed to push more. We need to make more chance. We need to have a better performance from our captain up front. And realistically, we didn't get that. So, unfortunately, we're in the position where we've just lost a game 2-1. We were so close to winning this game and being top of the league for another 24 hours until the Man City game came along. But unfortunately, we didn't. So, yeah, that's where we are. And now we've got to look ahead, maybe not look forward, but look ahead to the Aston Villa game. Bissouma's going to be out for that one. He's going to be suspended. Udogie will be back, hopefully, because we do need a bit more balance on that left-hand side. And potentially, are we going to be seeing a Romero and Davis centre-back pairing? They've got the pace. They've both played in the centre in the past, so maybe we'll see that. But I think there's going to be some, not major fallout, but we're going to see some repercussions from this. I really don't think Andrew's going to be happy with what he's just seen. There was a lack of fluidity, a lack of composure, a lack of a lot of things. And realistically, I think he's going to be looking at it and saying, yeah, okay, it's great for certain players to come in and get some minutes, but this team's about winning and we need to win games. If we don't win games, we're going to be unhappy. And coming away from the Chelsea game where we put in a fantastic backs to the wall performance, to lose somewhat meekly against a Wolves side who are not of the same quality is very, very disappointing for me. And I'm sure it'll be disappointing for him as well. So that's where we are. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this game. Let me know what you think of upcoming matches. And we'll see how things go. We'll see how things go. But yeah, my name's Stuart Woodrow. I'm somewhat disappointed from what I've just seen, but there's a lot more to come from this side. And come on, you Spurs.